Welcome to Lights Out Theater. Today's episode, the Riddle Me This podcast.
In a recording room, Riddler and Bob are sitting at a table filled with microphones.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Riddle Me This podcast. I am your host, the Riddler, with my co-host, Bob. So, hey, boss, what are we going to talk about this week? Today on the podcast, we'll be talking about Egyptian riddles. Oh, boy. What now? Well, all we seem to do is talk about riddles, boss. That's what this podcast is about. I know, boss. But on Batman's podcast, we seem to have a real good time. We laughed and... I'm sorry. On whose podcast did you say? On Batman's podcast, boss. You're a brainless buffoon. What's wrong, boss? What's wrong? What's wrong? Let me see. You go on my mortal nemesis podcast. Well, gee, boss. It was real funny. Want to listen to it? No, I don't want to listen to it. But, boss, we only have 8 subscribers. Batman's podcast has over 60,000. Well, did you at least plug our podcast? Sorry, boss. I forgot.
In a bad neighborhood in Gotham City, inside an old building, is the office of Dr. Leslie Tompkins. Inside the office is Dr. Tompkins. Bob and the Riddler are sitting on a couch across from her.
So, you two want couples counseling?
Yeah. Boss is always mad at me. It's simple. It's because you always screw everything up. I don't mean to, boss. I try my best.
Okay. We're going to play a game that will help us understand how well you two know each other. It's called the Newlywed Game.
But me and boss ain't gay. Yeah, it's completely work-related.
We can still play even though you're not a couple. Okay, so I'm going to ask each of you questions privately, and we will see how well you two really know each other.
Well, gee, boss, a stupid game. It'll be right up your alley.
Okay, let's begin.
Leslie questions both of them one at a time, while the other sits outside of the office. After the questioning, both of them are back in the room. So,
Riddler, I asked Bob 3 questions. Let's see how well you really know your employee.
A game of wits with this simpleton?
What did Bob say was his favorite movie?
Easy. Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Squeakquel.
Wrong.
Are you kidding me? How is that not your favorite movie? We have watched it over 20 times. It's Inception. There's no way you could have figured that movie out. You're a nincompoop.
Okay, so next question. What did Bob say was his favorite Pokemon?
Well, that one's easy. It's Pikachu. He got drunk one night and got it tattooed on his backside.
Wrong.
Riddler's face turns red and he clenches his fists.
Wrong? How am I wrong? It's Mew. It's so majestic. Are you fucking kidding me? You two are in on this, aren't you? Because you never mentioned this stuff before. Well, gee, boss, you never asked. Just give me the last question.
Who did Bob say was his role model?
Well, that one's simple. It's me.
Wrong.
Well then, who is it?
It's Batman, boss.
Riddler punches Bob in the face, then starts to strangle him.
Hey, boss, what's wrong? Your role model is the pointy-headed buffoon called Batman. I'ma kill you.
Leslie pulls Riddler off Bob.
Enough!
Gee, boss, sorry to make you mad.
Okay. So, Bob, Let's see how well you know Riddler.
Oh boy.
What was Riddler's high school locker combination?
Good luck. That one's easy. 4, 23, 37.
Correct. That's 5 points.
What? You could have been kidding me. There's no way he could have figured that out.
Okay, next question. What did Riddler say his best quality was?
Knowing the boss like I do, I would say his brain.
Correct. Another 5 points.
That was an easy one. You're handing him points.
Riddler, it is not a competition, okay? Okay. Last question. What kind of people does Riddler say his least favorite are?
I know this one. It's orphans.
Actually, he said caped heroes. Okay, but you do have 10 points, which means that you win.
Oh gee, I won. That game was stupid. Well, boss, welcome to my world.
Maybe the problem is that you don't listen to Bob.
I do too. But boss, you wouldn't even listen to me on Batman's podcast. Fine. If it means that much, let's listen to it.
Bob pulls out his phone and hits a button.
Hey guys, welcome to the Bat Pod, the coolest podcast from the coolest hero. I'm your host, Batman, and I'm with my co-host, Alfred Pennyworth.
Secret identity.
Oh shit, I mean, my co-host, the masked butler.
Close enough.
Who is our guest today, masked butler?
Our guest today is Riddler's henchman, Bob. How are you today, Bob?
Hi guys. Hey, boss, that's me. I know, stupid.
So today's topic is embarrassing Riddler stories.
Riddler slowly looks over at Bob.
Oh boy, I got a million of them.
Oh, great. Let's hear one. Ah, I hate you.
Easy, Riddler.
So, about 2 months ago, me and the boss were locked away for blowing away some orphans. Well, me and the boss, we weren't cellmates, but we were in the same cell block. Well, when Riddler's old cellmate got released on early parole, he got a new cellmate. We all called him Footlong Joe. Well, let's just say Footlong Joe must have been a wrestler because all night you could hear him wrestling with the Riddler. He must have been pretty strong because all night all you'd hear was Riddler saying, help me, riddle me this.
Riddler grabs the phone and smashes it over Bob's head.
Riddler, calm down.
I hate you. But boss, I thought you would like it. Riddle me this. What's about to be floating 10 feet under Gotham Bay? Jay, boss, you know I'm not good at riddles.
Calm down and breathe.
How can I calm down? This pea-brained mongoloid keeps screwing everything up for me.
Riddler, if you don't calm down, I will smack you in the mouth.
Riddler and Bob get situated back on the couch.
Why don't you tell me how the two of you met?
Well, we met in kindergarten. But back then, there was more of us.
A young Edward Nigma, Bob, and 3 other boys are riding bikes.
Back then, things were simple. We rode bikes, went fishing, talked about girls. Everything was simple, right? Well, then high school happened.
Edward, Bob, Bob and the three teens are standing in a hallway lined with lockers.
We were still friends, but in high school, everything's about being cool. That I was not.
The three teens walk away from Edward and Bob.
I was all alone.
A teenager pushes Edward into a locker.
Hey, punk, give me lunch money.
Please, I don't have...
The teen punches Edward in the stomach. Bob punches the teen in the face, knocking him out. Edward looks up to see Bob's hand outstretched towards him.
Aren't you gonna leave me? Like everybody else? No way. You are my friend. And I never leave friends behind. Thank you.
Bob grabs Edward's hand and helps him up.
Sounds like a true friend.
You know, I believe I've been too hard on you. Friend. It's okay, boss. We're friends forever. Remember?
Riddler and Bob hug.
I think my work here is done. Now that'll be $350.
2 weeks later, Riddler and Bob are back in the recording studio.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Riddle Me This podcast. I am your host, the Riddler, with my co-host, Bob. What do we got going on this week, Bob? Well, gee, boss. We got an old friend of yours to come visit today. Really? An old friend? Who? It's our good pal, just released on parole, Footlong Joe.
A tall black man with a golden grill walks in the studio. There's my bitch. I've been looking for you everywhere. Come here, Sugar Bear.
Oh, no. No, can't be. Well, gee, boss. He seems to remember you.
Let's start back from where we last left off.
No!
Thank you for listening to Lights Out Theater. Today's episode, the Riddle Me This podcast, was written by Sean Dills, edited by Sean Dills, with the voice talents of Sean Dills as the Riddler, Bob, Batman, and Teenage Bully. Haley Shell played Dr. Leslie Tompkins, and Vincent Douglas Willingham as Alfred Pennyworth, the narrator, and Footlong Joe. Thank you again for listening to Lights Out Theater.